But it's tough. I mean, yeah, it's tough to do that. Yeah. I take as many.
Thank you all for coming out today. I'm Tammy Elhart, and I have Tamara's cooking classes, and it's a cooking class business where I teach people how to cook. I do that out of our home up in Grand Haven, and it's something I've been doing for almost 11 years now. Today we are going to do a couple things. We're going to do a grilled herb chicken with an herb salsa verde. Does everybody have the recipes? If not, raise your hand and we'll be sure that we pass those out. So we're going to start. We've got our chicken breast on the grill already, and it's a very easy, easy thing what we're going to do. We're just going to salt and pepper those. And when the chicken is on the grill, I like to cook one side first, whether it's chicken, pork, or anything. I don't like to season before it goes on the grill, because if I season and kind of let it sit there a couple minutes, the salt will start to pull out the moisture. So I always sear one side and then I season it. So today we're going to season it with our herb salt. And herb salt is a mixture that I have in my kitchen, and it's just kosher salt. And we take fresh herbs that I have growing in my herb garden. You can use the herb salt on anything you would that's savory. I wouldn't use it in baking or anything, but so we've got our chicken going and we've got the seasoning on it. We're going to make our herb salsa verde, and we've got food processor. If you don't have a food processor, don't rush right out to get one. You don't need one because you can manually hand chop this. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put our parsley and our basil, fresh basil, into the food processor. Now when you're working with the herbs, you just want the leaves. So with our basil, we're just going to pinch off the leaves and put those in there. We don't want to cut the stem, and that holds true with most herbs. Rosemary especially, because rosemary is very, very woody and it does not break down. These would break down for you if you were cooking them, but the presentation isn't so nice because it, yeah. You know, as much as I love broccoli, when they use the broccoli stems, you know you're eating a broccoli stem. So we're going to put that all in the food processor. We've got our capers, which are still in the cooler here. Capers are the unopened buds of a bush that's grown in the Mediterranean. Very, very salty because they're almost always pickled. We're going to put a generous amount in there. You won't need to add salt to this because our capers are adding the salt for us. And then we're going to add some anchovy paste as well, so it's all incorporated in the salt with that. So we've got our garlic. We've got, this is a bowl. We've got our head. Great way to try to get that paper off is just to smash it with your chef's knife. And you're just going to peel that off. And then I like to trim off that end there. And that's going to go into the food processor as well. We're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. I always use extra virgin olive oil because the flavor is much better. I'm going to put a little bit of our fresh lemon juice in there, trying to not get the pits in there. I use our reamer and just do that. So now we're going to add a little anchovy paste. Anchovy paste, I would highly recommend that you use this in this recipe. Even if you don't like anchovies, I personally can't stand anchovies. It doesn't taste like you're adding fish into it. It just adds a nice flavor. So we're just going to squeeze an amount in there. And you can buy this at most of our grocery stores in the aisle where they sell the canned salmon and tuna and that type of thing. Okay? And then we're going to just get a little bit of our black pepper in there. A little bit of noise. And that is, you can see this, okay? Got our minced herbs, so there's just loaded with flavor, fresh flavors. And this will go on our chicken breast once that is done. And we've got some fresh asparagus here. Because you're preheating your grill, you can drizzle this with olive oil or you can just throw it right on the grill, and our peppers as well. Okay, you don't have to do anything with the pepper except put it right on the grill. Then we're going to put herb salt on the other side. and some fresh ground black pepper. This is one of my favorites. Or I should step back and say, this isn't one of my favorites. The French cream is one of my favorites. Because you don't really need fruit to eat that. Okay? So this is a very simple process. And I like to do this because we have the grill going for our main entree and our side dishes. We might as well do our dessert on that as well. So very simply, we're going to cut our peach in half. We're going to just kind of twist it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then we're going to pop our pit out. The skin is left on these. And then those will go on the grill. Won't take so long, so we'll go and we'll make our French cream. Start that up. We've got our whipping cream that we're going to put in. And then we're going to use a little bit of our our sour cream. And the sour cream is what gives it the flavor. Most of you can see I'm not measuring so good. I include always the measurements in recipes, but when it comes to me doing it, I don't measure so good. And as Tom will tell you, nothing ever tastes the same twice. So we're just going to whip that up. It's starting to thicken up, but I'm just going to take a break and check what's on the grill here. Chicken is done, so we'll turn that side of the grill off. So we're going to add a little bit of confectioner's sugar to this. It feels so special, I got like accordion music. And then we're going to do some lime zest. Now when we're zesting, or if a recipe tells you to zest, they just want you to take the outer part of your citrus fruit. So that I can just dump that in there. Gives it a little bit of freshness. We'll stir that up. And that will be our cream that will go over our peaches. So we're just going to set our peaches. There's no butter, there's no nothing on the peaches, just right on the grill grate. We don't want to cook them until they're absolutely, just cooked through. We just want a nice little bit of heat and some grill marks in that. Here's our pepper looking much better. Can you see the pepper, how it's blackening? We want to do that on all sides of that. Then we'll put a little bit of lemon zest kind of on our plate. And then because we've got fresh herbs in here, we'll just garnish it with a little bit of fresh herbs. Okay, now you wouldn't serve 3 chicken breasts to somebody, you would just do 1. Our cream in there, and I like to serve this with a sharp like steak knife and a fork right on the plate, and some fresh mint.